Joe Sakic's NHL career unfolded amidst two of the fiercest rivalries of his era. Before donning the burgundy and blue of the Colorado Avalanche, Sakic cut his teeth in the Battle of Quebec, where the Nordiques clashed with the Canadiens. Over an 11-year span, the Nordiques and Habs played each other 5 times in the playoffs, including once in Sakic's playing career. A few years before Sakic entered the NHL, a postseason game between the teams ended with 11 ejections. The two clubs hated each other. From 1988 to 1995, Sakic was front and center in the Battle of Quebec. He led the Nordiques in scoring in 5 of those 7 years, served as team captain in 4, and led the Nordiques in scoring when they faced the Habs in the 1993 playoffs. But when Sakic was introduced as General Manager of the Year at the 2022 NHL Draft in Montreal, he was greeted with a standing ovation, the kind of reception reserved for the most loved figures in the sport. Joe Sakic is not only one of the best hockey players ever, he's one of the most universally respected. Fans in Quebec City adore him nearly 30 years after the Nordiques left town, and Habs fans have nothing but respect for their former rival. He even has the respect of the Red Wings fans who witnessed their team's violent rivalry with the Avalanche. In one of the bloodiest rivalries in NHL history, Sakic and Detroit captain Steve Yzerman were pretty much left alone. According to Darren McCarty, who was with the Wings at the height of the rivalry, despite their deep hatred for the Avs, he and his teammates all loved Joe Sakic. In the mile-high city of Denver, Sakic's influence has soared to unprecedented heights. He captained the team to a pair of Stanley Cups, winning the Conn Smythe Trophy as playoff MVP in 1996. He won the Hart and Lady Byng, and remains the franchise leader in goals with 625, assists with 1,016, games played with 1,378, and points with 1,641. 13 years after he retired from playing, Sakic's leadership skills guided the Avalanche to another Stanley Cup triumph, this time from the executive suite as general manager. Simply put, Sakic's been the face of hockey in Denver since the Avs arrived in 1995. The move from Quebec City to Denver began as a rumor, but as the 1994-95 season progressed, the chatter started to get more serious. The team was struggling financially, though not due to lack of fan support. Nordiques owner Marcel Aubut sold the team to Comsat Entertainment Group, which also owned the Denver Nuggets, and Comsat moved the team to Denver. The team was leaving a city with a large, stable fan base, and heading to a place most of the players didn't know much about. A city with 3 other major pro sports teams, where the NFL's Denver Broncos were the kings. By the time of the move, Sakic was the face of the Nordiques. His brilliance on the ice transcended the team's struggles. With 3 100-plus point seasons under his belt in Quebec, Sakic's talent was undeniable. He was a beacon of hope amidst adversity, and it wasn't just his play on the ice that endeared him to fans. They were drawn to his calm demeanor and leadership abilities. Plus, he loved playing in Quebec. He embraced the fans in the city, and remained loyal to the Nordiques through the ups and downs. As the Nordiques' tenure in Quebec City drew to a close, the roster started to come together. Sakic was a star, and trading Eric Lindros brought the Nordiques a lot of good pieces, including Peter Forsberg, who won the Calder Trophy in 1995. After missing the playoffs 6 of the previous 7 seasons, the Nordiques qualified for the 1995 playoffs, only to lose in the first round to the New York Rangers. Their string of difficult seasons and hard-fought playoff loss to the Rangers taught the Nordiques players what it took to win. Unfortunately for their fans, they never got to see those lessons pay off in Quebec. The best way to win over a new fanbase is by winning games, and that's exactly what the Avs did. In their first season in Denver, the Avalanche stormed onto the scene as a powerhouse laden with talent. Led by Joe Sakic and bolstered by the arrival of Patrick Waugh in a midseason blockbuster, they were primed for greatness. The Avs were young and dynamic, which matched the energy of Denver in the mid-90s. And even though they were new to the city, Denver already had hockey fans. The University of Denver is a well-established college hockey power, and the city had an NHL team from 1976 to 1982, when the Colorado Rockies became the New Jersey Devils. The stage was set for an unforgettable season. Fueled by Sakic's career-best 120-point season, the Avalanche blazed through the regular season, finishing with the league's second-best record. That set the stage for a playoff run that made Joe Sakic a household name. It was during the Avs' 1996 Stanley Cup run that the city fully embraced the team. The twists of fate in playoff hockey can make or break a team's destiny, and for the Avalanche, their journey could have been a lot shorter, if not for Joe Sakic's goal in triple overtime of Game 4 in the second round against the Blackhawks. The win tied the series at 2 games apiece, and the Avs went on to win the next 2 games, including a double overtime victory in Game 6. Sakic's heroics continued in the conference finals against Detroit. He scored 2 goals in the decisive Game 6, including the go-ahead goal in the second period. Sakic then led the Avs to a sweep of the Panthers in the Stanley Cup Finals, and was awarded the Conn Smythe Trophy as playoff MVP. During the playoffs, Sakic scored 18 goals in 22 games, 6 of which were game winners. He sustained his brilliance for 13 seasons in Denver, and led the Avalanche to another Stanley Cup in 2001. During his 20 years in the NHL, Sakic was voted into the All-Star Game 13 times and played in 12 of them, serving as a captain twice. He's the all-time All-Star Game assist leader with 16, and is third place in all-time All-Star scoring with 22 points, behind Mario Lemieux and Wayne Gretzky. Sakic also had an extensive international hockey career, representing Canada at 7 international competitions. After being drafted by the Nordiques in 1987, he helped Canada win the 1988 World Junior Championship. His first international tournament at the senior level was the 1991 World Championships, where he helped Canada to the silver medal with 11 points in 10 games. A few years later, he represented Canada at the 1994 World Championships, where he recorded 7 points in 8 games to help Canada win its first gold medal in the tournament since 1961. His next international appearance was at the 1996 World Cup of Hockey, where he recorded 2 goals and 2 assists in Canada's second-place finish. A couple years later, Sakic was named to Canada's Olympic team at the 1998 Games in Japan, the first Olympic tournament featuring NHL players. Hampered by a knee injury, he recorded 3 points in 4 games for a Canadian team that failed to meet expectations and finished out of the medals in 4th place. Things went much better for Sakic and Team Canada at the 2002 Olympics in Salt Lake City. In the gold medal game against the United States, Sakic scored 2 goals and 2 assists, including the game-winning goal to help Canada win its first Olympic gold medal in 50 years. He was named tournament MVP, recording 4 goals and 3 assists in 6 games. With the victory, Sakic joined Rob Blake, Brendan Shanahan, and Scott Niedermayer as the first Canadian players to join the Triple Gold Club, having each won the Stanley Cup, along with gold medals at the World Championships and the Olympics. He also played a key part in Canada's triumph at the 2004 World Cup of Hockey, where he scored 6 points in 6 games. After injuries limited him to just 15 games in the 2008 to 2009 season, Sakic announced his retirement in July of 2009. The Avs retired his number 19 before their 2009 home opener, and Sakic was selected to the Hockey Hall of Fame in 2012, his first year of eligibility. He was inducted along with Matt Sundin, Pavel Bure, and Adam Oates. After he retired, Sakic stepped away from hockey for a couple years to spend time with his family. In 2011, he returned to the Avalanche to work in their front office. He was named an executive advisor and alternate governor for the team. In 2013, the Avalanche promoted Sakic to executive vice president of hockey operations. In this expanded role, he had the final say on all matters regarding hockey personnel. The following season, Sakic was promoted to general manager. He faced adversity early in his tenure as GM, especially in the 2016-17 season, when the team finished last in the league with just 48 points. Despite finishing last, the team didn't win any of the top 3 lottery picks in the 2017 draft. This apparent misfortune led to the Avs selecting future Norris winner Cale Makar 4th overall. Sakic built a contending team around Nathan MacKinnon and Makar, culminating in a Stanley Cup championship in 2022, making him just the 3rd person to win a Stanley Cup with the same franchise both as a player and a general manager. Following the championship, Sakic was promoted to president of hockey operations, a role he remains in to this day. That's all for this look back at Burnaby Joe. Drop your favorite Joe Sakic memories in the comments, and make sure to hit the subscribe button for more hockey history.